So this is a little bit controversial, but you can answer if you choose to. If not, we can. So there was a time when there was some sort of a rift between you and the Phoenix owner in terms of saying that you would try to fit players and promise them games and those. How would you respond to that? I don't know if it's an allegation or a statement or whatever.
Okay, let me tell you
because a lot of the players that you mentioned earlier, Jesse Marsh, Jesse Wright, Romario Williams, also claim that.
Okay, let me just give you the history on that, right? When Phoenix was started, right? The core of most of those young Phoenix players were coached by a player by the name of Bobby Green, right? And Shevon Marsh. From they were 5 years old. I used to live in Haverdale. I had a huge lawn where I had a scrimmage field with scrimmage goals on it. And they used to come down there, eat mangoes and play, right? So I knew all of them. That's one of the reasons why Shevon Marsh never went anywhere else. As much as people used to pressure him. Yeah, I remember when David Hunt, when he was an under 13, he was trying to get into Calabar. Remember, no, he didn't pass. And Mr. Hunt pressured and said, boy, if you don't play, it's like you're not going to get the space. And I remember he stood up and told Mr. Hunt that, Mr. Hunt, I know Mr. Maxwell all my life. I am playing for Cavalier where he is, and we can't go anywhere else. Leon Bailey, Kevin Atkinson were also players that were playing on my front line. Right? The year when I went to Cavalier, when I used to be at Medieval, I used to stack it. When I used to say stack it, when we used to have training, we would have up to four squads of 30 at training at one stage. I never forget, near over 100. And I remember one stage I told David, I said, David, what we're going to do? We're going to send home them boys. He said, no, register all of them. Because if you register all of them, they can't play against you. They can't, nobody can use them. And I remember Leon Bailey, Kevin Atkinson, they were actually registered that time at Medieval before, long time before. And then when I went to Cavalier, Bobby Green had offered me, Leon Bailey, to come to Cavalier. And I said, no, because I already had Shevon Marsh, who was a left footer, and another player who was a Dini Black, who was 1 year younger. And I said, no, if I carried him there, he wouldn't get that amount of playing time, because I said, I would not do this, what I did at Medieval, by overstocking and stifling players like that, you know. So I said, if I go have a team, we have a strong level, and then the next set of players are going to players that can play the next year, right? So I said no, and then Bob Green took him now to Craig, and Craig took them and he did wonders with them. Can't hide that, because Craig also has come out at the same stable as me, which is David Hunt, Medieval, as a player. So the same philosophy that David has also went with him. So both of we are almost sons of David. You will see it a lot. You will talk about it, that David Hunt is his mentor. Both of us is our mentor. But we both took different ways in how we deal with things. Right? He went in the coaching, I went in the scouting managerial and putting them. So as I said, we went different ways. We never knew each other at the club because he was there at a different time from me as a player. Right? So when you always had this thing where Cavalier was dominating youth competitions, and when Phoenix started to grow, it was right around the time when Cavalier was also growing, but they weren't the powerhouse that Cavalier was. So they were almost like that Cinderella team. And then at the time, Casafa split the league into a Premier League and two lower leagues, parish league, so to speak. And at that time now was when Phoenix was able to do well in the lower league, but not the top league. Your volume.
That was when Steve became the president. He's the one that,
right, he was the one that did it.
Super 12 thing.
Right.
So
when that happened,
and then the other teams play together, and they have like a relegation and promotion.
Right. So at the time, they were dominating that lower league, and the one time we ever came up against them was when they won the lower league, and then we met them, I think, in a semi-final. Or semi-final or quarter-final. I think it was semis. And we played at Duane Park and we beat them. They were, I think, a little younger than the team we had also. They were about the same age. I don't remember the team that we beat them with. But we had two players on there, two twins, Matthew Wilson and Jonathan Wilson, who were with Phoenix the year before and left to come to Cavalier, but I didn't recruit them. The father came to me and said,
those two twins went to Wolmer's, right?
No, they went to
one went to Wolmer's and one went to George's.
St. George's.
Yeah. Oh, their older brother went to Wolmer's.
Right, their older brother went to Wolmer's, but they went to St. George's. Right, and at that time, we still had the agreement with St. George's. So that's how they got in. So all Cavalier players used to go to George's. Everybody. From a player for Cavaliers, a George's is going to end up. Then after a while, when George's come with the thing with Central Kingston, everybody from Cavalier literally went to JC, KC.
Okay.
Then after a while, anyway.
So would you say you and Mr. Butler have a good relationship?
Well, let me
because and the reason why I said that is because he has said on public platforms already that you attempted to or tried to coerce his players away from him to bring them to Cavalier. Instead of public platforms already.
Most times, let me tell you something. The only player that I usually rate at Mr. Butler would have been Leon. I'm going to tell you, because most of the players, them honestly couldn't make Cavalier side. Never really have any much players that could have made Cavalier team. So I always say that. That would have never happened. And let me tell you, Mr. Butler, from time to time, talk good with me. Because at one stage when Mr. Butler was running for JFF president, who do you think that he approached to be his campaign manager? I never forget, we went by Marketplace, we had dinner, at lunch or whatever, and that was a plan to put together something for him to run. And then after when it was, the numbers looked that he couldn't win, right? Seems to would have been the person, was when he pulled. But yeah.
To be his campaign manager for the JFF president?
Yes, for the CASAFA, to get deep support for him within CASAFA. Yep, was me. Okay. So, but Mr. Butler is that type of person that him blow hot, him blow cold, him have, he has various issues that I won't go into here. But I can tell you, he has developed Leon and Whisper very well, and I give him ratings, especially for Leon. Whisper, I think anybody could have done Whisper. But Leon, I know where he took Leon from. I'm always tell people, say, Craig Butler saved Leon. I'm going to rate him for that. I know Leon backbone. I'm going to tell you, I respect him for that.